If you're over 60, listen carefully, because what I'm about to share with you could protect your digestion, your joints, your heart, and your energy. You've probably heard that lemon is healthy, and yes, it absolutely can be. Lemon is rich in vitamin C, antioxidants, and natural compounds that support circulation and immunity. But here's what most people don't tell you. After the age of 60, your digestive system changes, stomach acid production decreases, enzyme production slows down, your gut lining becomes more sensitive, and when you mix lemon with certain foods, it can create unnecessary stress inside your body. Today I'm going to reveal the 3 foods you should never mix with lemon if you're over 60 and what to do instead. After the age of 60, your body is not the same body you had at 30 or even 45, and that's not a weakness, it's simply biology. Your body becomes more refined, more sensitive, and more selective about what it tolerates. One of the biggest changes that happens quietly without you even realizing it is in your digestive system. When you were younger, your stomach produced strong, abundant hydrochloric acid. That acid had a powerful job. It broke down proteins efficiently. It killed harmful bacteria. It activated digestive enzymes. It prepared nutrients for absorption in the small intestine. But after 60, stomach acid production naturally declines. This condition is often called hypochlorhydria, low stomach acid. And here's the problem. Many people mistake the symptoms of low stomach acid for high stomach acid. You feel burning, you feel bloating, you feel reflux, so you assume you have too much acid. In many cases, you actually have too little. When acid levels are lower, food doesn't break down properly, proteins sit in the stomach longer, fermentation begins, gas builds up, pressure increases, and that pressure pushes stomach contents upward, leading to that uncomfortable burning sensation. Now let's bring lemon into this picture. Lemon is acidic. When you taste it, you feel that sharp, sour intensity. But once metabolized, lemon actually has an alkalizing effect on the body. That's true. However, before it becomes alkalizing systemically, it must first pass through the stomach. And this is where aging digestion matters. If your stomach acid is already low, adding a strong acidic substance like lemon can create imbalance. Instead of supporting digestion, it may irritate a stomach lining that has become thinner and more sensitive with age. The mucosal lining of your stomach, that protective barrier, becomes more delicate over time. It's more vulnerable to irritation from highly acidic combinations, especially when paired with certain foods. In your 30s, your stomach might have handled lemon mixed with anything, dairy, fried foods, heavy meals without complaint. But after 60, the same combinations may trigger bloating, heaviness, or reflux. And there's steps more. Digestive enzyme production also declines with age. Enzymes from the pancreas are responsible for breaking down fats, carbohydrates, and proteins efficiently. When enzyme output decreases, food lingers longer in the digestive tract. Now imagine combining slower enzyme activity with lower stomach acid and then adding strong acidic combinations on top of that. It's like adding extra traffic to a highway that's already moving slowly. The result, that congestion shows up as gas, belching, abdominal pressure, acid regurgitation, the feeling of fullness after small meals. Another critical change after 60 is slowed motility. The muscular contractions that move food through your digestive tract, called peristalsis, naturally slow down. When movement slows, food remains in the stomach longer. The longer food sits, the more fermentation can occur, especially when digestion is incomplete. This is why food combinations matter more as we age. It's just not that lemon is bad. It's that your digestive system is working with different rules now. Think of it this way. Your stomach is like a carefully balanced chemical laboratory. When you were younger, the lab had strong burners, powerful mixing tools, and fast reaction times. Now the burners are a bit lower. The reactions take longer. The system is more sensitive to extremes. Strong combinations, especially acidic plus heavy, fatty, or dairy-rich foods, can overwhelm that system. There's another factor. People rarely discuss gut lining integrity. As we age, the intestinal barrier can become more permeable if not supported properly. Chronic irritation, medication, stress, and processed foods can thin that protective lining. When acidic foods are layered improperly on top of an already sensitive system, it may contribute to discomfort or inflammation. And let's not forget medications. Many adults over 60 take acid-suppressing medications, antacids, or proton pump inhibitors. These further reduce stomach acid, so now you have a stomach that already produces less acid naturally, and medication lowers it even more. In that situation, adding acidic drinks like concentrated lemon water during or immediately after meals can create imbalance rather than support. Again, lemon itself is not the enemy. The issue is context. The issue is timing. The issue is combination. If your digestive strength has changed, and after 60 it usually has, then your food strategy must change with it. One of the smartest things you can do is pay attention to how your body responds. Do you feel light and energized after lemon water on an empty stomach? Or do you feel burning and bloated when lemon is mixed into heavy meals? Your body gives you feedback. Many people over 60 actually benefit from small diluted amounts of lemon in warm water before meals because in some cases it gently stimulates digestive activity. But large amounts, highly concentrated mixtures, or improper food pairings can tip the balance the other way. Moderation becomes power, spacing becomes protection, simplicity becomes strength. After 60, your digestion thrives on lighter combinations, slower eating, proper hydration, and mindful timing. This is not about fear, it's about awareness. Your body is still incredibly capable. It can heal, it can absorb, it can function beautifully, but it asks for respect. And when you understand that digestion changes with age, when you adjust your food combinations accordingly, you reduce unnecessary stress on your system. Plus irritation, less reflux, less bloating, more comfort, more energy, more clarity. That is the goal, because at this stage of life, it's not about eating more, it's about eating smarter. And when you understand how aging affects digestion, you stop blaming foods and start mastering combinations. Let's talk about something that sounds simple but can quietly create digestive chaos after the age of 60. Lemon and dairy. Now on the surface, this doesn't seem like a big deal. People mix lemon into creamy dressings, they add it to yogurt, some even put lemon into milk-based smoothies. And when you're younger, your body may tolerate this without much complaint. But after 60, your digestive system plays by different rules. Here stitch what happens. Lemon is highly acidic. Milk is rich in proteins, especially casein, and contains lactose, a natural milk sugar. When acid meets milk, a chemical reaction occurs. The milk curdles, the proteins coagulate. They thicken and separate. You've seen this before if you've ever added lemon juice to milk in cooking. Now imagine that happening inside your stomach. You might think, but my stomach already contains acid. Yes, it does. But remember what we discussed earlier. After 60, stomach acid production often declines. That means digestion is already less efficient. Food stays in the stomach longer. Enzyme activity slows down. Breakdown is incomplete. When you introduce an external strong acid like lemon into dairy, you're accelerating curdling before your digestive system is fully prepared to handle it. In a younger body with strong acid production and robust enzyme output, this process may be handled quickly and smoothly, but in an aging digestive system, that thicker, curdled mixture can sit longer in the stomach. And when food sits, fermentation begins. Gas builds. Pressure increases. You start feeling bloating, belching, heaviness, mild nausea, acid reflux. Now let's just talk about lactose. Many people over 60 have reduced lactase production. Lactase is the enzyme responsible for breaking down lactose. As we age, our bodies naturally produce less of it. Even people who never had dairy issues when they were younger may begin experiencing subtle intolerance symptoms later in life. When dairy isn't fully digested, it moves into the intestines, partially broken down. Bacteria feed on it. That fermentation produces gas and discomfort. Now add lemon acidity into that situation. You've created a thicker, more complex digestive challenge in a system that's already slower and more sensitive. And here's another important factor: the stomach lining. As we age, the protective mucosal layer of the stomach can become thinner. It's more vulnerable to irritation. When curdled dairy sits longer in the stomach, it can increase pressure and irritation against that lining, especially if you're prone to gastritis or reflux. This is why some people over 60 notice that yogurt with lemon, creamy lemon sauces, or citrus mixed into milk-based drinks suddenly make them uncomfortable, even if they never had issues before. It sits not random. It sits physiology, and there's something else most people don't consider. Dairy, especially full-fat dairy, requires significant digestive effort. It demands strong stomach acid, bile for fat digestion, and pancreatic enzymes. After 60, bile flow can decrease, pancreatic enzyme output can decline, so the overall digestive load of dairy becomes heavier. When you combine dairy with lemon in the same sitting, you start layering challenges. First, curdling increases thickness. Second, enzyme demand increases. Third, digestion time lengthens. That prolonged digestion increases the chance of reflux because food stays in the stomach longer and pressure builds upward. And let's just be clear, this doesn't mean dairy is evil. It doesn't mean lemon is harmful. It means timing and separation matter. If you enjoy warm lemon water in the morning, that can be a refreshing way to gently stimulate digestion, but follow it with milk in your coffee 5 minutes later and you may feel bloated. Spacing them out by 45 to 60 minutes allows your stomach environment to reset. It reduces the digestive overlap. It allows each food to be processed more efficiently. Think of your digestive system like a production line. When tasks are spaced properly, everything runs smoothly. When too many heavy tasks are stacked at once, the system jams. After 60, efficiency becomes more important than quantity. Now let's just address something practical. So, what about yogurt and lemon in small amounts? What about a squeeze of lemon on cottage cheese? Small amounts may be tolerated by some individuals. The key is awareness. If you notice heaviness, belching, or reflux afterward, your body is giving you feedback. And here, sis, there's another layer. Many adults over 60 take medications that reduce stomach acid, like proton pump inhibitors or antacids. If stomach acid is already suppressed, dairy digestion becomes even more compromised. In that situation, adding lemon may create irritation without actually improving digestion. It becomes a double burden. And there's still more. Dairy increases mucus production in some individuals. When digestion is incomplete, that mucus response may increase further. Combined with acid reflux symptoms, this can create throat irritation or chronic coughing after meals. Many people don't connect the dots. They blame aging. They blame random reflux. But sometimes it's simply food, combination stress. Your body after 60 is not fragile. It is intelligent. It requires smarter pairing. If you want the benefits of lemon, use it with vegetables, with warm water, with herbal teas. If you enjoy dairy, consume it alone or with foods that digest similarly and in moderate amounts. Respect the spacing. Respect the sensitivity. And listen carefully to your body's response. Because at this stage of life, prevention is easier than correction. Small changes in timing can eliminate bloating. Small changes in combination can eliminate reflux. Small awareness can restore comfort, and comfort is everything. You deserve to feel light after meals, not heavy. You deserve smooth digestion, not pressure. So remember this simple principle. After 60, it's not just what you eat, this counts how you combine it. And separating lemon from dairy may be one of the simplest digestive upgrades you can make. Let's clear up one of the biggest myths I see, especially in people over 60. You sit down to a plate of fried fish, fried chicken, oily rice, or deep fried snacks, and right before you eat it, you squeeze fresh lemon all over the top. You feel good about it. You think, at least I added something healthy. But here sits the truth. Lemon does not cancel out fried food. And after the age of 60, that combination can actually make digestion harder, not easier. Let me explain why. As we age, Bile production naturally declines. Bile is produced by the liver and stored in the gallbladder. His job is to break down fats so they can be absorbed properly. When you eat fried or oily foods, your body depends heavily on bile to emulsify those fats. In your 20s and 30s, bile flow is usually strong and responsive, but after 60, that response slows down. The liver may not produce as efficiently, the gallbladder may not contract as forcefully, and fat digestion becomes less efficient. Now let's just add fried food into the picture. Fried foods are not just high in fat, they're often oxidized fats. High heat damages oils, creating compounds that are harder to digest and more inflammatory. These fats sit heavier in the stomach. They take longer to break down. They demand more bile and more digestive enzymes. Now imagine layering lemon, a strong acid, on top of that. People assume the acid will cut through the grease. That's just not how digestion works. When you add lemon to a heavy fried meal, you increase the acidity of the stomach contents at a time when the stomach is already working overtime to process dense fats. In a younger digestive system, this may not create noticeable symptoms, but after 60, the combination can irritate the stomach lining and increase reflux risk. Here sits why. Fried foods already delay stomach emptying. Fat slows digestion. The stomach holds onto fatty meals longer because they require more processing. When food sits in the stomach longer, pressure builds. Now add extra acidity from lemon. If the lower esophageal sphincter, the valve that keeps stomach contents down, is weaker, which commonly happens with age, that pressure can push acidic contents upward. That's sits reflux. That sits heartburn. That's the burning sensation in your chest after meals. And many people don't blame the combination. They just think, I'm getting older, but it sits often the pairing. Here's something else important. As we age, the stomach lining becomes more sensitive. It doesn't regenerate as quickly. It's more vulnerable to irritation from inflammatory foods, especially fried foods. When acidic lemon juice is layered onto oxidized oils, it can intensify irritation in an already sensitive digestive environment. You may feel heaviness, draining, nausea, belching, fatigue after meals. And let's just talk about fatigue for a moment. Heavy fried meals already divert blood flow toward digestion. Your body works hard to break down fats. That requires energy. When digestion becomes inefficient, you feel sluggish. When lemon is added to that already stressful digestive task, it doesn't lighten the burden. It may intensify the gastric response. Now here's another critical factor after 60 pancreatic enzyme output. The pancreas produces lipase, the enzyme that breaks down fat. With age, enzyme production can decline, so fat digestion becomes slower and less complete. When fats are not broken down properly, they move into the intestines, partially digested, leading to bloating and discomfort. Lemon does not improve enzyme production in this context. It does not neutralize oxidized oils. It does not transform fried food into a heart-healthy meal. It simply adds acidity to an already heavy digestive load. And there's this common misunderstanding. Some people believe lemon makes fried food less greasy, but grease isn't removed by acidity in your stomach. That's a culinary illusion, not a physiological reality. Your digestive system must still handle every gram of damaged oil. Now let's just consider inflammation. After 60, systemic inflammation becomes more common. The body is more reactive. Fried foods contribute to inflammatory stress. When digestion is strained, inflammatory signals increase. This can affect joints, energy levels, and even mental clarity. Many people over 60 complain of joint stiffness after heavy meals. They don't connect it to digestion, but poor fat metabolism can increase inflammatory markers in the body. Adding lemon doesn't counteract that. In fact, if reflux or stomach irritation occurs, that stress response can further strain the system. So what is the smarter strategy? First, reduce fried food frequency. Choose baked, grilled, or steamed options whenever possible. These are easier to digest, especially after 60. Second, if you enjoy lemon, pair it with lighter meals. Lemon works beautifully with steamed vegetables. leafy greens, grilled fish, lentils, warm water before meals. These combinations support digestion without overwhelming it. Third, understand that digestion after 60 thrives on simplicity. Heavy fat plus strong acid plus large portion size equals digestive overload. But moderate portions, healthy fats, and balanced timing equals comfort. This is not about fear. It's about efficiency. Your body is still capable, incredibly capable, but it doesn't respond well to extremes anymore. And fried food is an extreme. Strong acidity on top of oxidized fat is another extreme. When you combine extremes in a slower digestive system, symptoms appear. The goal after 60 is to reduce digestive strain, not increase it. When digestion runs smoothly, everything improves. Energy, sleep, circulation, mood, joint comfort. But when digestion is stressed, the entire body feels it. So remember this, lemon is healthy in the right context. Fried food is heavy, especially after 60, and combining the two does not create balance. It creates burden. Respect your digestion. Choose lighter cooking methods. Use lemon strategically, not as a cover-up for unhealthy meals, because at this stage of life, small daily choices determine how you feel tomorrow. And you deserve to feel light, energized, and strong, not weighed down by combinations your body no longer tolerates the way it once did. Now we come to something that may be the most important point of all, especially if you are over 60. Medications. By this stage of life, many people are taking something daily. It could be for blood pressure, cholesterol, thyroid function, arthritis, blood sugar, heart rhythm, or even simple supplements like iron or calcium. And here's what most people never think about. It's just not just what you take, it's what you take it with. Lemon seems harmless, it's natural, it's refreshing. Many people start their day with lemon water, believing it boosts detox, improves digestion, and strengthens immunity. And in the right context, it can. But when lemon is consumed too close to certain medications or supplements, it can interfere with how they are absorbed, how they are activated, or how they move through your digestive system. Let me explain why this matters more after 60. As we age, stomach acid levels often decline. At the same time, many adults are prescribed acid-reducing medications like proton pump inhibitors or H2 blockers. This further changes the stomach's pH, its acidity level. Now, when you introduce lemon, which is highly acidic, you temporarily alter the stomach environment again. Medications are designed to dissolve and absorb under specific pH conditions. Some need an acidic environment. Others need a more neutral one. If the stomach environment changes suddenly, absorption can shift, and even small shifts can affect how well a medication works. Let's just take thyroid medication as an example. Thyroid hormone replacement must be absorbed properly in the small intestine. It is extremely sensitive to timing and stomach conditions. That's why doctors often tell patients to take it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach with water only. If you drink concentrated lemon water at the same time, the acidity can alter stomach emptying and potentially affect absorption timing. The result, your levels may fluctuate. You may feel more tired, more sluggish, more foggy. You would suspect the lemon. Now let's talk about iron supplements. Iron requires proper stomach conditions for absorption. Vitamin C can enhance iron absorption. That part is true. But if lemon is consumed in excess or combined with other supplements at the same time, it can irritate the stomach lining, especially in those who already experience gastritis or reflux. After 60, the stomach lining is more sensitive. Iron alone can sometimes cause nausea. Lemon plus iron on an empty stomach can intensify discomfort in certain individuals. Now consider blood pressure medications. Many of these medications influence kidney function and electrolyte balance. Lemon contains potassium. While potassium from natural food is generally safe, timing it directly with certain medications may not always be ideal without professional guidance. The issue is not that lemon is dangerous. The issue is that medication management becomes more precise after 60. Your body processes drugs differently as you age. Liver metabolism slows slightly. Kidney filtration can decline. This means medications stay in the body longer. Their effects can be stronger or more prolonged. When you add substances that alter stomach acidity or digestive timing, even naturally occurring ones like lemon, you introduce another variable into a system that already requires stability. And stability is everything when it comes to medication. Here sits another example, antacids. If someone takes an antacid to reduce stomach acid and then drinks lemon water soon after, they are essentially sending mixed signals to the stomach. One action says reduce acid, the other says here's more acid. This back and forth can irritate a sensitive digestive system and confuse symptom patterns. The person may continue experiencing reflux and not understand why. Let's also consider blood thinners. While lemon itself is not as powerful as grapefruit in affecting drug metabolism, citrus fruits still contain natural compounds that interact with liver enzymes responsible for breaking down medications. After 60, when multiple medications are taken together, something called polypharmacy, the risk of interactions increases. Adding strong dietary acids at the same time may not be catastrophic, but it can influence how efficiently the body processes certain drugs. And here's just the key principle. When it comes to medications, consistency matters more than intensity. Your body likes routine. If you take your medication at 7 a.m. with plain water every day, your body adapts to that pattern. Absorption becomes predictable. Blood levels stabilize. But if some mornings you take it with lemon water, or other mornings with coffee, and other mornings with food, absorption becomes inconsistent. Inconsistent absorption leads to fluctuating blood levels. Fluctuating blood levels lead to fluctuating symptoms. And symptoms create confusion. This is why spacing is powerful. A simple rule can protect you. Take medications with plain water unless your healthcare provider says otherwise. Wait at least 45 to 60 minutes before drinking lemon water. Or if you prefer lemon water, first thing in the morning, wait before taking your medication, depending on medical advice. Separation creates safety. Now let's just talk about supplements like calcium. Calcium absorption can be influenced by stomach acidity. Too much acidity at once may irritate, while too little may reduce absorption efficiency. Timing again becomes a deciding factor. After 60, your digestive system is more delicate. Your medication regimen is more structured. Your metabolic processes are slightly slower. This is not weakness. It is biology, and biology responds best to balance. Lemon is not the villain, but lemon is powerful, and powerful things require awareness. The goal is not to eliminate healthy habits. The goal is to implement them intelligently. When you respect medication timing, you improve effectiveness. When medications work properly, symptoms stabilize. When symptoms stabilize, quality of life improves. That's the real objective. Energy, clarity, stability, comfort. And it often comes down to something very simple, timing. After 60, you don't need extreme changes. You need precision. Take medications with water. Space out acidic drinks. Maintain consistency. And allow your body to function without unnecessary interference. Because at this stage of life, small details make big differences. And when you master those details, you protect your health in a powerful, natural way.